Hello, Hillsborough. It's Tyler. Welcome to our holiday special. You'll find out very quickly here that Hillary and I both love this time of year, though things do tend to get very busy very quickly. And if you're like me, the Amazon boxes are showing up every day. There's wrapping paper crumbled up and thrown everywhere. And we just thought this would be a really opportune time to bring in our friend Danny, who has some really helpful tips to share with us about how to make sure that we are recycling properly around our homes and how to educate our families to do the same. So I think recycling is one of those things that no matter how good we are at it, we can always stand to learn a little bit more and be a little bit better at it. Danny has a lot of great tips on how to do that. So let's get into it.
Hello, Hillsborough.
Hillary, do you hear that?
I do. Is that what I think it is?
It's sleigh bells.
See, that gives me the best feeling.
Does it?
It really does.
I like it too.
The holidays are my favorite time of year. It can be overwhelming, but it's still the best time. And we need it after the year we've had.
We do. We do. The weather's already starting to change just a little bit. And those family gatherings are starting to pile up on the calendar. I'm already looking at it and I'm already thinking about that feeling you get when your guests start to leave and there's all that trash and all that stuff left behind and you got to go around your house and pick it all up.
And I don't know if you're like me, but I have all different types of family members. Some of them stay and help clean up before they leave. And then some of them just leave.
I don't have those. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I have a few.
So it does. It's so stressful. Like you get excited to plan the party and host everyone. And then when they leave, you're exhausted from just that event itself. And I always have to clean up before I go to bed. And then when you're putting the trash away, I do get stressed about whether I'm throwing away too many items that should be recycled.
You want to do things right, but you also want to clean up as fast as possible, like you said, so you can go to bed. But sometimes that means, you pick something up and maybe you're not sure which bin you're supposed to put it in.
So our guest today is taking the guesswork out of all of that to hopefully make things quicker at the end of the night. His name is Danny. He's a project manager of sustainability and disposal operations for our solid waste management department.
I'm excited to talk to him because he's very excited about his job.
Oh, yes. He's the recycling king.
Yeah.
So let's chat with him.
Let's do it.
Hello, Hillsborough.
We're here with Danny. Thanks so much for joining us. This is a time of year where you guys are busy.
Oh, yeah. More people, more trash.
Yeah. So one thing I want to point out before we forget, Danny's our first guest to bring props.
Yes.
Like physical items for us to look at. And I'm sitting right across from them right now. And I'm very curious about where that's going to take us.
He called it ASMR. And I think it's going to be very relaxing to listen to these props.
So I think we all know that recycling is important, but I think if someone were to ask me why, I would not have a real direct answer to that. What do you think is the most important reason that we recycle?
Recycling is incredibly important. The number one reason why we recycle is because it keeps it out of the landfill. Imagine everything you put in the recycling bin, your cardboard boxes, your soda cans, your water bottles. Where would that all go if we didn't recycle it? End up in the landfill. University of Florida report showed recyclables take up almost twice as much space as regular garbage. So keeping it out of the landfill actually saves that landfill space. We think about trees, water, air, all those natural resources. Space is a resource. There's physically only so much space on the planet. Imagine we fill up the landfill. You got to build another one. It's shown to lower property values. You can't build an airport within a certain mileage of a landfill because how many birds they attract. So anything to keep it out of the landfill through reducing, reusing, recycling, incredibly important.
Something I heard, and I want to see if this is true. So we're going to do a quick fact versus fiction. If there's a whole truck filled with recycling and there's items in there that can't be recycled, does the whole truck get dumped to the landfill?
Great question. So if there's too much of the bad stuff, what we call contamination, things that don't belong, the plastic bags, the wet things, like a full peanut butter jar, unfortunately, we do have to reject it. It's more efficient to reject the load than to pick through all the stuff. You have to imagine you're on a route with 1,200 other homes. We collect 10 million pounds of material curbside every single month from the recycling program. Think about how light paper is. It's a lot of material. And so our contamination rate is about 25%. So about 1 in every 4 trucks, if you want to imagine, is basically the garbage like you described. But that means 3 in 4 trucks are doing it right.
Yeah.
So we need to bring that number down.
We can all help each other doing this right.
And I think a lot of times where some of the miscommunication comes is especially, if you live in a house with other people, you may have an idea of what should be recycled and someone else may be, wrong about that. So what are some ways that families can get on the same page with this?
totally. You should be arguing about other things, not recycling. But when it comes to recycling, I always feel like we're not doing our job unless you're talking to us. If you have confusion, check our website, hcfl.gov/recycling. You can call us 5 days a week, 7:30 to 5. You can check our program. You can refer to our recycling guide. And it's really just, again, sticking to the basics. Target the shapes, plastic bottles and jugs, not the material, like plastic, metal, glass. Not everything made out of metal, not everything made out of glass, not everything made out of plastic is recyclable. It's just sticking to the basics, to those shapes. Like with plastic, your bottles and jugs, not your bags, your cups, toothpaste bottles, things like that. Metal, plenty of things made out of metal. You got your pots and pans, your tin foil, pie tin trays. None of that's recyclable, just your cans and your like tuna cans, steel cans, tin cans. And then glass, you got candle jars, Pyrex, lasagna trays, all these different types of glass that are meant for different purposes, like, sitting in an oven, versus your wine and pasta sauce jar glass. That's what we take curbside, food and beverage glass.
Gotcha.
So it's important to know these things all the time, all year round. But this time of year, there's a lot of things going in both of those bins around the holidays, and food items and gifts and things like that. What are some of the items around the holidays that people may not know they can recycle?
Wait, this is where we get out the show and tell ASMR.
Is this a good time?
This might be a good time.
This is your ASMR warning.
Yes.
Okay.
So because you have a whole bag that is a do recycle bag, and then you have a bag that is all the don'ts.
Correct. So let's start with since I'm closer to the don'ts. Let's do the don'ts. Oh, I can hear it.
Oh man, I can
Okay,
already hear
everyone.
it. Oh
So
man.
our biggest issue year round is actually plastic bags.
So he's holding like a Publix bag.
Yeah. Shopping bags, grocery bags, bagging your recyclables and throwing bags loose in the cart, both equally bad. So even if you put nothing but clean cans and water bottles in a plastic bag, unfortunately, we don't know what's in the bag. It can mess up our machines. Our staff, they don't know what's in the bag because there could be needles and contaminated items and things like that. And for their safety, we see a bag, trash it. So no plastic bags that can wrap around our machines. We also, if you do a lot of online ordering, you have everything from like these Amazon.
Kind of like bubble wrap bags.
Yeah, they're lined with bubble wrap, exactly. And we were talking about this earlier, that sometimes they have these labels on them, like these triangles, but you have to read closely. In this case, it says store drop-off, not curbside.
Oh.
It's not accepted curbside.
Not all recycling means throw it in the bin. Some of it means,
Correct.
yeah.
Like, that's a great, I'll talk to this in a second. Actually, we can do that now, is like electronics. Are electronics recyclable? Yeah, most are. Are they curbside recyclable? Unfortunately not. So like Christmas lights, which is a big tangler as it's tangling my own bag.
Oh man.
Could you imagine this wrapping around all of our machines, up
Oh my
and down,
gosh.
weaving in and out? Oh, a nightmare.
He's just holding a big chunk of Christmas lights that are all tangled up.
I don't like that. Get it out.
This is the
That's stressing me
nightmare.
out. No, but yeah, you're right. Like that can be recycled, but you need to specifically take it to a drop-off site.
Correct. Our community collection centers take metal, electronics 6 days a week where you can recycle it. Our curbside program is designed for very specific items. This is your nightmare before, during, and after Christmas. Styrofoam we brought up earlier, polystyrene foam products, egg cartons, cups, things like that, not recyclable, not curbside at least. A lot of stores take them back. Now, what do we think about this peanut butter jar?
Now, it looks like it's been sort of cleaned out, but there's still peanut butter in there. I'm going to go no.
I'm going to go with, is the jar recyclable, but the top isn't?
Oh,
We got some discussion, debate. So would this be recyclable? Generally speaking, yes, a plastic container jar like this, but to your point, it's too dirty to be recycled. So the issue is it's too contaminated. Any sort of ribbon, tinsel, things like that can be reused or donated, but not recycled. And actually, I do have a disclaimer. The wrapping paper that's in the dues, one is acceptable and one isn't.
Okay.
oh.
So which one do you think?
I feel like the glittery one would be a no.
For the listener, he has one roll that looks like glittering gold, and the other is more of a traditional like holiday pattern with trees and polar bears on it.
And more like of a paper feel.
And one you can recycle in the bin,
Mhm.
and one you can't.
Correct. So the glittery, foily, metallic, metallized wrapping papers that you
The
have at
prettier
home,
one. I'm just going to say it.
not recyclable. So if you would like to recycle your wrapping paper or be more sustainable, have the general papery feel ones that tears and sounds like paper when you touch it.
Is
Sure.
that the general rule? If it feels I like paper, or if it feels more like foil, just kind of go either direction with it. Or-
Exactly. And when in doubt, leave it out.
Gotcha.
There's nothing really wrong with putting paper in the trash can. There's something wrong with putting the non-recyclable in the recycling bin.
So I would have guessed that foil would be recyclable.
Yeah, when you were talking at the top of the conversation, I feel like our job is really myth busting a lot of times. Where does it all end up? Does it actually get recycled, or what is recycled? All these confusing labels and directions on the packaging. And so a lot of things feel intuitive, like a candle jar. It's made out of glass, right? Or aluminum foil, or pots and pans, or plastic bags. Publix takes them. I totally understand all that, and it can feel overwhelming. But our system is designed to recover these items because of existing markets. There are companies that buy this from us, and they only want very specific things and things that have been around for a long time. And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of soda cans. There's a lot of water bottles. And now with Amazon and all the shopping, there's a ton of cardboard.
Shall we bring out the next bag?
The dues.
The dues.
The dues.
Totally. Wrapping paper, greeting cards. Again, if it's paper, they don't have like a mechanical thing that's going to start singing, or if it's glittery or ribbons on it, put that in the trash. Plastic jugs and containers like this. This is like a detergent jug. And then you mentioned like a milk or water jug, these 1 gallon jugs, totally recyclable, accepted in your program. Some more plastic items that we take. Here's this is the other half to your peanut butter sandwich.
Oh,
yes.
The dirty jar we showed earlier. This one's completely clean and rinsed. So someone did a good job doing this. But I have residents tell me, oh, I send this through the dishwasher. You don't have to go that far to do that. I mean,
that's very kind of
if
them.
you got room in the dishwasher.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of residents also ask me, aren't I wasting water by rinsing it? It takes a tremendous amount of water just to make a single water bottle that's full of water. It actually takes a lot of resources. So by recycling, you're actually saving a ton more water than you're using with the quick rinse.
I've wondered that too.
Yeah. It's like a trickle effect, what you're talking about. Your one decision truly makes a huge impact.
Yes, and you should feel good doing this. You are making an impact. You create 10 times as many jobs as landfills do. Think about the manufacturing, the transportation, the sorting, all this stuff that when you recycle, you're contributing to local economy, you're saving resources, you're saving landfill space. It's been shown to reduce litter and emissions. So you should always feel good recycling. And even better, reusing and reducing. Oh, here's my water bottle.
Oh, nice. So that's a plastic water bottle.
Yeah, and here's like a plastic container.
Like a takeout container.
Yeah, and so if you anything from your Folgers coffee to a Planter's nut jar, those types of plastic containers we would take curbside. But City of Tampa, for instance, doesn't take containers.
Okay, so there is a difference
There is
whether
difference.
you live in unincorporated Hillsborough County or a city.
Correct. So if you go to tampabayrecycles.org, you can then find your local program. So that's kind of our regional landing page. Then you can then know the differences between our programs. Because, yeah, it does differ. Let's move on to metal. So metal, and this is common for all local recycling programs, is aluminum, steel, and tin cans. ASMR warning. You have your steel tin cans, your tuna cans, your soup cans. You don't have to rip the label off. A lot of residents do ask questions about that. Just make sure it has a quick rinse and it's all dry, and you can recycle it.
And then you have some soft drink cans there. Those are totally recyclable.
Yeah, soda cans. For our adult listeners, beer cans.
There we go.
And I think last we have is paper. So you have your regular computer paper, magazines. Preferably you donate paperback books, but you can recycle those. We also take paper board. So like in this case, a little snack box for like
granola bars in.
And then like cereal boxes. Some residents do have questions about the difference between cardboard and paperboard. Paperboard is basically a thinner version of cardboard, but they're both readily recyclable. In this example I have is a pasta box. I've had questions, do I need to take out the little plastic window? Same thing with like junk mail. You do not have to. I personally do, but you do not have to.
Okay, because it is in itself recyclable.
Yeah, it's that minimal amount is okay.
Okay,
with
cool.
The paperboard.
So there are a lot of rules here. We don't want it to intimidate anyone, but there are specific places to put your paint and all sorts of different items that you're trying to throw away, whether you're recycling it or trying to throw it away. Where can people go to learn about all of that?
Yeah, so if you go to hcfl.gov/recycling, if you're a Hillsborough County unincorporated resident or customer, you can find our recycling rules, how to get rid of batteries, how to get rid of electronics. And actually, that's a service we provide to all county residents. Electronics, batteries, paint, and household chemicals we take monthly. And actually, these electronics, especially this time of year, you're probably going to get a lot of new electronics that are coming in, gaming equipment, computers, things like that. If you're getting rid of old equipment, please recycle it and do not put it in the trash. These rechargeable batteries, lithium-ion batteries, lithium batteries, even the ones like in greeting cards that play music, can actually cause a fire. We've had over 20 in the past year and a half, which is an incredible amount. So anything with a rechargeable battery or a lithium battery, please do not put in the trash or the recycling bin. Bring it to us 6 days a week, 7:30 to 5. Just show your photo ID that you're a Hillsborough County resident, and we will recycle it for you.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
save
Thanks
a
for
life.
being here, Danny.
You've gotten me really excited about it now.
Yeah, I'm
excited.
ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready to recycle.
I'm ready too.
Are you
Thanks,
making
Danny.
a pledge, or are you going to make a green news resolution?
Yes.
Is there an official pledge we can take, or is
Yeah.
there? Is there
ReduceOurUseTampaBay.org.
All right.
We'll take it.
we'll
Tyler and
take-
I will take it. Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hello, Hillsborough.
Well, I feel a bit more informed. It's kind of comforting to know that obviously we recycle to take care of the planet, but locally we see benefits of recycling, and I think that sometimes that's overlooked.
I think so too. And I found it fascinating when he shared the benefit of when you just recycle one cup and what that does for both not just the environment, but the economical benefit and the jobs that it produces, all of that you don't really think about when you're going to just recycle your one cup.
Yeah.
It has a huge effect.
It does. And I love that Danny is just so excited. I love that he brought stuff with him.
I know.
And I know you, if you're listening, you couldn't see, but hopefully you can hear some of those jugs and things, and maybe get some thoughts brewing in your head about the way those things sound next time you're getting ready to toss one out at the house.
Yep. Hopefully everyone feels a little bit more confident like Tyler and I do for sure after listening to Danny. And all those resources he mentioned are on our website, hcfl.gov, which is so helpful because I'll be going there to remind myself of what I can and can't recycle.
That's true. You should always look up the recycling program for where you're located.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he said, it's different if you're in unincorporated Hillsborough County versus City of Tampa and all
Right.
of that.
But we're not done yet. There's just one more thing we need to do before we leave.
Oh, Tyler's handing me a gift. Tyler, that's so sweet of you.
Happy holidays.
Wait.
Pretend you're really opening
Is
it
it
like
qu-
it's
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dramatic.
And I cannot recycle this bag. It's
That's
in a
true.
bag.
Yeah.
And it needs to, yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's a mug, a coffee mug, and it says, "Ask me about my podcast" with a podcast mic on it. That is adorable. Thank you, Tyler. You're the best
welcome.
podcast co-host I could ask for,
Aw,
truly.
I don't want to do this with anybody else.
Oh,
so.
thank you.
Now-
Now I need to get you the exact thing so that we can be matching.
Well, make sure you put it in that bag.
I will. I'll
So you
reuse
reuse it.
this bag. That is for sure.
Well, since our show is called Hello Hillsborough, we don't say goodbye here, but what we do say is thank you so much for joining us. However you spend your day, we really appreciate you taking the time to listen. So remember to click that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode.
And be sure to follow your favorite county on social media. We are at Hillsborough FL on all the platforms. And for more information on everything Hillsborough County, visit hcfl.gov. I'm Hilary.
And I'm Tyler.
Should we play the bells again?
Oh, all right.